Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1. This morning we got the information from the FBI director that I guess Miss Clinton didn't commit any crime. This whole thing reeks of political corruption. She did commit some crimes. She was negligent. She was grossly careless, and this resulted in I believe, the enemies of our country getting classified information. The reason she is not being charged because the good old system is protecting one of their own. Anytime you have someone that's in front in an investigation and their husband shows up in a secret meeting with the Attorney General, that's corrupt in itself. You might say, well, you're a Republican, you hate Democrats. I hate Republicans and Democrats, to be honest with you. The two parties really have one secret agenda. They let us argue over a few key points, but basically it's the same party, the establishment party. And it's so corrupt. It's beyond corruption. Today's ruling, where the FBI said there'll be no official charges, we have entered into an area now where I don't think the ballot box works, the soapbox does not work, and it's limiting our ways to redress or address these grievances that we have. You might say you're picking on Hillary. No, I'm not picking on Hillary. I'm picking on the corruptness, the bureaucratic corruption, the corruption with politicians, the mess that we have as a country. And I have to put myself in the shoes of what would our founding fathers, if they were in these chairs around here with me and they were looking at the news, what would they do? And those were great men, statesmen, leaders. A lot of them put the country first, and it was evidence of what happened to them during the Revolutionary War. Nowadays, men, women become politicians. They don't put anything but really themselves first, how they can benefit themselves. If you look at politicians when they go to Washington, and then you look when they get out, they have been enriched beyond belief. You know, some do have money and they go there, but if you're a politician and you get into the clique, you can set yourself up, you can set your family up, your whole next generation up. The corruption is beyond human belief what happens in the government. And it is in state government. I'm just trying to figure out, yesterday was the 4th of July. I really didn't do much for the 4th of July. I didn't really feel like celebrating my freedom because I don't really feel free. I feel like a caged rat. I feel like I'm in a cage. And there's no freedom. I have none. And probably some will say, oh yeah, you can do all kinds. No, you can't. Anything you do, you have to have permission from the government, local, state, or federal. Anything you do. You can't even do things on your own property. If it's morally right, if it's not hurting anyone, they'll have their hand in there and say, no, you can do this, or you can't do this, or you can do this, but you got to pay $2,000 for a permit, or $900 for this permit. So really you're not free, you're just asking them permission, and they will give it to you, but it will cost you. It used to be a time when your property was your property. People didn't come on there and say, hey, you got to do this or that, pay us money and you can do it. The boundaries of a man's property should be boundaries of a man's property. If you do things that are morally right, and you're not hurting anyone, the government has no right to come on your property and tell you what to do. Some places you can't even collect rainwater. They're so quick to say you can't collect that, but if that same rainwater does damage to your property, they won't pay for it. So, you know, they want it their way and only their way. We have entered, I think, today is a serious milestone. We have a banana republic. We have a group of men and women that are dictators. do not follow the rule of law. There is no rule of law in this country. And that's demonstrated by anyone that promotes people coming across the border illegally. No rule of law. I also made this video to pass out some information that I was asked to pass out. If it comes a time in this country's history or timeline that we need to stand for what is right, and there will come a time, how will we know who's on our side? I was asked to put out the information. 3%. 3 Roman numerals, or 3 with a percent sign. So if you're in law enforcement and there comes a time that you have to take a stand, write that on your patrol car. If you're in the United States military or Marines and you have a piece of equipment, write that 3% on your vehicle. We need to know who the good guy is. We need to identify who is going to stand for the Constitution. You know, you could fly the American flag, but that doesn't mean anything nowadays. The American flag flying, to most people, they don't even know what it stands for. Sad day today, and it came right after the 4th of July that we should be celebrating our freedom. I wasn't in the mood yesterday to celebrate my freedom. I feel like a caged rat. Thanks for watching.